Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 richest states in America for 2023. Do you want to be rich? I'm not talking big fancy home in the hills rich. I mean own your own plane rich. Like, so rich you have people who count your money for you rich. Well, keep working hard and dreaming big, because one day, you may be that rich. But for now, you, me and everyone we know is not rich. Today, we're going to see where the richest of the richest people in America live. Today, we're going to see which states have the richest people in them. It's pretty easy to see where the richest people live. You just have to measure how much money people make, and who has the best jobs in every state. Or, you could just see where people like this live and try and get on their good side. The states we're about to mention are pretty wealthy, overall. At the end of the day, we ended up with this list of the wealthiest states. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 richest states in America. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 richest states in America. Number 10 on the list of richest states in America is Washington. Washington is the 10th richest state for 2023 according to the most recent census data on incomes, poverty levels, and unemployment. The wealthiest towns are concentrated around the Seattle metro area and include Duval, Snoqualmie, and Sammamish. Families in Washington average more than $77,006 every year. That's more than 25% higher than what the families earn on average in the U.S. Less than 4.9% of people in Washington are out of work based on the most recent census data. To be honest, I'm surprised anyone in Washington is out of work. This state is a really safe, clean, quiet place to live where it seems like just about everyone is quietly living the awesome life. Washington has slowly been moving up our rankings over the years and cracking the top 10 this year. Number 9 on the list of richest states in America is Virginia. Welcome to Virginia, our 9th most rich state in America. Some Virginia neighborhoods are where you go to sell Girl Scout cookies or candy bars or where all the kids from DC go trick-or-treating on Halloween. Places like Chantilly, Falls Church, Tyson's Corner, and Fairfax are the bomb when it comes to moneymakers. Heck, in Loudoun County, the average person makes $120,000 a year. Even the poor people in Loudoun County make close to $90,000 a year. If you're a kid in Loudoun County, your allowance is probably more than your teacher's salary. Virginia ranks 8th in the country for number of Fortune 500 companies. Only 4.63% of the Virginia workforce is unemployed, and about 1 in 7 people in Virginia is employed as a highly paid professional. From their fancy homes, they commute into every day in their fancy cars and wearing their nice suits, making laws that you and I have to follow. Number 8 on the list of richest states in America is Colorado. Colorado has a ton of money. Overall, Coloradans earn $75,231 each year. That might sound like a decent chunk of change, but when you think about how much it costs to live here, suddenly, that might not seem like a lot. Food prices, even legal green leaf prices, are really high. But that aside, there are loads of opportunities in Colorado for people to make a lot of money. Outside of Denver, there are wealthy businessmen, farmers, entrepreneurs, and more. When you have a hard-working population that's saving money and living responsibly, it can be much easier to accrue wealth. Is that the secret? Number 7 on the list of richest states in America is North Dakota. North Dakota? Really? It's true. There's some hard workers up there, and money goes a long, long way in North Dakota. Did you know only 3.1% of people are out of work in North Dakota? There has been such a boom due to the oil and gas industry conducting fracking that, basically, if you don't have a job here, it's because you refuse to work. The jobs are demanding, but they pay a lot and offer solid benefits. Besides, you could always just open up a diner to feed the workers if you don't want to be out in the fields yourself. It turns out that many people are aware of how rich you can get in North Dakota, as it is ranked as the fastest growing state in the country since we started keeping track in the middle of the last decade. Number 6 on the list of richest states in America is Massachusetts. Our next stop, Massachusetts, probably won't come as a surprise to anyone who lives in the New England area. Households here make about $84,385 a year. One reason people are rich in Massachusetts is the fact that people here are so smart. What the state lacks in oil reserves, coal mines, and other natural resources, it makes up for with high-performing schools and a well-educated workforce. This is home to Harvard, Oxford, and Cambridge universities. As with just about every state in the country, Massachusetts' wealth is particularly evident in central Boston, the North Shore, Middlesex County, the I-95 corridor, and the Berkshires, to name a few areas. Other regions, particularly northern central, are relatively poor. Number 5 on the list of richest states in America is Minnesota. Minnesotans live a pretty good life when you look at the data, eh? Some wealthy enclaves include Victoria and North Oaks. The Gopher State ranks in the top 10 in every category we measured, and only 9.3% of the population here lives in poverty. People here earn on average about $73,382 a year, and only 3.81% of people who live here don't have a job. Minnesota literally has some of the smartest people in the U.S. It has some of the more prestigious universities in the Midwest and is the most up-to-date state in education and law enforcement in the county. People come here to find jobs and for a more peaceful and better quality of life. Number 4 on the list of richest states in America is Maryland. Many people in Maryland are loaded. Everyone here earns on average $87,063 a year. There is a whole lot of federal government and government-related contractors in the state, not to mention some of the best education and research facilities, some of the largest military bases, the NSA and its high-tech, high-paying jobs and contractors. Virtually all information in the world flows through Maryland, and through the NSA located in central Maryland. Some parts of Maryland are just off the charts, out of touch with reality. Places like Poolsville, Mount Airy, Somerset, and Chevy Chase have money that you and I will never see in our lifetimes. You drive through parts of Maryland, you'll see lots of pool repair and landscaping trucks. You never see the police here unless the police are called, then they're there in minutes. In many Maryland cities, you'll see tons of soccer moms who frequent Whole Foods, Starbucks, Core Power, or Lululemon. Number 3 on the list of richest states in America is Hawaii. Of course, Hawaii had to be on this list. The average household in Hawaii makes about $83,173 a year. But, being rich in Hawaii has its caveats. Sure, there are a bunch of people in Hawaii who are swimming in the dough. But there's a boatload of broke people in the Rainbow State as well. And, the cost of living here is through the roof. Homes cost about $636,400 each, which is about $125,000 more than the average home value in the rest of the country. Tech billionaires build vacation homes here. Residents whisper about which celebrity they glimpsed at dinner the other night. Houses in places like Mililani Mauka and East Honolulu consistently push 7 digits. But ask the average family about what it's like to live in Hawaii, and you'll hear about the punishing cost of living and how hard it is to buy a home. So, is Hawaii really that rich? Well, on paper, yes. With a 4.55% unemployment rate and really high wages, Hawaiians are some of the richest people in the country, overall. It's just a weird sort of rich. Number 2 on the list of richest states in America is Utah. Here in Utah, things couldn't be more odd. Sure, Utah ranks as the second richest state in the country. With only 3.62% of residents out of work, and the average household bringing in $74,197 a year, Utah is quite the rich place. The Beehive State ranks well in every category we measured. You might get bored living here, but at least you can spend your days counting your cash, right? And you won't even get bored if you work in Salt Lake City or hit the slopes in Park City. And you can always find a job at Frito-Lay or SkyWest Airlines, 2 of the biggest employers in the state. Number 1 on the list of richest states in America is New Hampshire. What? How in the world is New Hampshire so freaking rich? Besides making a bunch of maple syrup all winter long, what are they doing up there? They have to be doing something right in New Hampshire. Families earn about $77,923 a year up here in the middle of nowhere. New Hampshire as a whole has low unemployment and the nation's lowest poverty rate. Only about 1 in 11 people in New Hampshire lives in poverty. While that might seem high, for an entire state, it's really low. Do people work hard in New Hampshire? New Hampshire's workforce is among the best educated in the country. According to the U.S. Department of Economic Development, New Hampshire specializes in producing dairy, cattle, apples, and eggs. Did you know there's no sales or income tax in New Hampshire? That's right, every hour you work and whatever boring thing you do goes right in your pocket. Some of the richest towns in the state are Hampton and Londonderry, don't get much fancier sounding than that. While you won't see people in New Hampshire driving around in fancy cars, odds are people you meet there are really comfortable. In fact, people in New Hampshire are more likely to downplay their money than show it off. So, which is your favorite places among the top 10 richest states in America? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 10 richest states in America in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.